Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. George Simon, and welcome to another edition of the new Character Matters program. This is the program where we talk about what I consider to be the defining issue of our time, the character crisis that we have faced for several decades now, and that affects every single aspect of our lives. We human beings have always had our character-related problems, as flawed as we inherently are. But for the last several decades, a vicious cycle of sorts has been raging, whereby as more and more character-impaired people populate society, structures and norms and institutions once designed to help facilitate character development and reinforce its importance within our social milieu have eroded increasingly. And as that happened, more and more character impaired or character underdeveloped individuals entered society, creating a huge problem for all of us, affecting every aspect of our lives, our commerce, our international affairs, our community affairs, our political affairs, and especially our relationships. Most importantly, our most intimate relationships, which no longer hold together very well. There's a reason for all of this. The reason lies in character. Toward those ends, I've written several books, and I do these podcasts and publish many online articles in hopes that we turn things around, knowing that that has to occur one heart at a time, beginning with our own. And today, I'd like to continue a discussion about conscience and character. In the last podcast, I talked about how in this new age, too many folks enter young adulthood with an underdeveloped moral conscience, insufficiently committed to certain values and standards of behavior essential for functioning well within relationships and in society generally. And I've mentioned many times that some of the things that we have witnessed on an increasingly troubling scale, from mass shootings to other seemingly senseless events, are tied to this issue. Being so distraught that you're thinking about doing the unthinkable, feeling so aggrieved and mistreated by the world that you want to lash out. None of these things are new. Feeling at your wit's end, like you really want to hurt somebody, none of these things are new. What's relatively new, soberingly so, is that so many folks lack the internal controls, skills, and resources to keep themselves from doing the unthinkable when they feel like doing the unthinkable or when they're tempted to do the unthinkable. That's what's new. And how poorly and inadequately consciences get developed these days has a lot to do with that. We live in a highly narcissistic age. And as I discuss in great detail in two of my books, In Sheep's Clothing and Character Disturbance, there are reasons why certain personality types have great difficulty forming the kind of conscience that will allow them to function in a truly pro-social manner. For those folks on the narcissism spectrum, whatever their type or degree, they feel above the need for a governing higher power, which is exactly what conscience represents to most of us. And for us to really take to heart the prohibitions associated with a well-developed conscience, we have to be willing to subordinate ourselves, to subordinate our wills in particular to a higher governing principle or set of principles. And narcissistically inclined individuals feel above that need. For them, there is no higher power. You can find many articles about this and the reasons for this on my blog at drgeorgesimon.com. Similarly, with those folks that I call the aggressive personalities, that we have traditionally called either antisocial or sociopathic or psychopathic, it's more than just not recognizing a higher power. It's loathing, detesting subordination to anything bigger or higher. It's a passionate refusal to be subordinate in any way. And when a person harbors those attitudes deeply, they will not take in and take to heart and subordinate themselves to the standards and principles that keep most of us civilized and keep most of us from doing the unthinkable, even when we're tempted to. We have a huge problem with improperly formed and underdeveloped consciences in much of the advanced world, the so-called advanced world. And it's hurting us, seriously hurting us in many respects. Perhaps even more sadly, it hurts the personal, psychological, emotional, and especially spiritual development of the person who hasn't found the heart to internalize certain values and standards and controls. That's why I wrote my most recent book, Essentials for the Journey. Observing what I call the 10 Commandments of character is not just to help make us more civil. Indeed, doing so does help us be and act in a more civil way. But it's for our own personal, emotional, psychological, and spiritual fulfillment that we human beings need to not only recognize something bigger, but turn ourselves over to that something bigger, serving a greater cause, finding purpose in life, and in so doing, bring not only good to ourselves, but to the entire rest of the world, helping to make ourselves and each other all that we can be and realize all that we have the potential to achieve. So once again, I thank you for tuning in for another edition of the New Character Matters. Please avail yourself of the many timely articles, including the most recent one on my blog at drgeorgesimon.com. And while you're there on the blog, you may also want to mosey on over to the page for Anthem for the Millennium, commonly known as America My Home, this being the Memorial Holiday weekend. And remember, as you listen to the words and hopefully become inspired by them, that the greatness of our country has never resided in our military might or in our economic power, both of which are largely unrivaled. Our true greatness has always resided in the character of our people, which is why we've had some shameful times as well as some really shining times. It all depends on character, just as everything does, on folks who take their responsibilities seriously, who honor our noblest ideals, who take them to heart and do their best to put them into practice. That's what makes us individually great and collectively great. So once again, thanks for tuning in, and I hope you'll tune in again next time. And until then, I'm Dr. George Simon. Take care.